Hello, I'm delighted to have Robert Golightly with us today. Robert is Product Marketing Manager for AspenTech's Asset Performance Management Suite. Welcome, Robert.
Thanks.
So with all of the industry leaders talking about analytics and machine learning, and given AspenTech's experience in these industries, how do you think this will change going forward?
Well, I guess I see three areas where analytics and machine learning will come to play. I tend to classify problems in three ways. The things we know that we know, the things that we know that we don't know, and the things we don't know that we don't know. And when I think about analytics, I tend to classify those as important for dealing with the problems that we sort of understand, that we have some sense of the nature of the model. And I think machine learning is one of the most exciting things in that it gives us that technology that lets us address that class of problems that we don't know that we don't know. And I think the real innovation that we're trying to bring to the market is understanding how the way that we operate those assets is impacting their health and their longevity. And so we're bringing to market technology that helps people understand those relationships.
Okay, that's good, yeah. So given your experience with process operations and heavy industries, considering that 80% of the shutdowns are unplanned, what do you think are the biggest innovations that can help address this and make operations more reliable?
So I think that's where we're really excited about machine learning and trying to understand those relationships of, for example, when contamination enters a feed stream and attacks the seals on a compressor, or when the way that you operate the facility causes pumps to cavitate, which of course is not a good thing for the equipment. So we're trying to understand those operational regimens that create that reliability and risk problem on the asset side.
Okay, that's good, yeah. So unfortunately, there's this notion of process abuse and the effect that the process has on plant assets. So what do you think is the best way to address the equipment and the design processes using some of these newer technologies?
I think on the design side, when we're discovering through the use of both analytics and machine learning, again, the things that we do in the way that we operate those assets that create those problems. So I think the challenge then is how do you feed that back to the design process so that they understand where the asset fails to be robust to certain conditions, and you can include those things in your considerations when you're going through design. So I think honestly that's probably the least well understood part of this whole problem, is how do you take that back to the design side. A lot of the focus has been how do we improve maintenance, how do we change the operation, but I think there is a huge potential benefit to feeding that back to the design side. So some challenges ahead, but we're excited about the opportunity.
Okay, yeah. So clearly maintaining uptime and performance and reliability is important to industrial manufacturers. Do you think analytics is practical for them to consider at this time?
I think it's really their only avenue. We've been operating these facilities for decades. We've had a lot of smart people at the helm, and we're still discovering things about those assets and the operation and the way that they interact that we didn't know. So I think we've squeezed a lot of performance out of these assets through operational excellence and other endeavors. And so now I think it's time to apply that knowledge in ways that impact the asset and the design cycle.
Well, Robert, thanks for being with us today. We look forward to the developments of AspenTech in the next coming months.
My pleasure. Great forum. Thanks for having me.
We've been speaking with Robert Golightly from AspenTech. Thank you for watching.